figured, you know, this decluttering thing is just going great, so I'm just gonna keep it going. So I'm gonna do another video today on decluttering my pantry, and it's mainly organizing it, honestly, because I did a really big declutter probably like 6 months ago or so, and I've just been doing maintenance, and it's been so much easier to keep it clean and tidy. But as you can see, there's stuff that's just in disarray and a little bit messy, and things that I just want to, it's more just like functionally I want to change a couple things that before I thought would work, but I've realized now I just need a better option. So I'm gonna give you a little tour and show you some of my ideas. So my pantry is actually pretty minimal right now because I just did a little challenge for myself where I didn't want to do any grocery shopping for a month, and it actually ended up being longer than a month. It ended up being around 5 weeks right now, and I'm actually on my way to my 6th week. If you want to watch that process, there's a video on that challenge. But all that being said, I don't really have a ton in my pantry right now, and so I want to organize what I have before I go buy more, just so I can see what I have and not buy the same thing twice. So down here, I just have a bunch of random crap. Like a bunch of gum packets and Jello packets, protein packets, random things like that. And then down here I have like a random basket that I pulled out from my room declutter that I want to try and do something with. And then like just random things like these bags and things that are just shoved in there that even though it's not a ton, it just looks bad because it's not organized. So I want to try and have a better setup for this whole area. I think also this thing has got to go because it's just not very functional. I don't like how deep the baskets are because then I can't get to the stuff on the bottom, and also it just takes up a lot of space and it doesn't actually give a lot of storage. And so what I want to do is I want to go to Goodwill and find like some sort of bookshelf or something like that. That way I can stack more food in the shelf and it can be a better use because this whole area isn't being used over here. Oh, also I forgot to say that this side is my side and this is my roommate's side. So I have a pretty minimal space. I don't really have a ton of space for food, and so that's why I just want to be able to use that space wisely and get it looking better. So I think the first thing that I want to do is I want to just take everything out, and I think I'm going to do one shelf at a time because like I was saying in one of my other declutter videos, for some reason the thought of my whole pantry on my counter overwhelms me, and especially since it's already fairly organized, I don't really feel like I need to take everything out. So I think I'm just going to do it shelf by shelf and organize as I go and declutter what I don't need anymore. Most of the decluttering is going to be like maybe some of those bags or find a new home for the bags, and like some of the old cardboard boxes that I don't need, things like that. Probably decluttering this shelf. We'll probably sell it on Facebook Market. And then I want to look on Facebook Market, and then I think I'm going to swing by the thrift store to see if there's any bookshelves. I'll take measurements before I go, and then I want to see if there's any bookshelves at like Goodwill or St. Vincent de Paul. Okay, so let's go shelf by shelf and start going through things. So I'm going to start from the ground up, and I am going to pull this big shelf guy out. Perfect. And go to the shelf first. So, one of these things that I feel like I need to declutter is this. One, because Apparently it's open. And 2, because it gives me the worst stomach ache and other things. But I haven't gotten rid of it because I probably had this sitting in my pantry for a year. Ow. And I have not gotten rid of it because it was freaking expensive. It was so expensive. But I'm never gonna drink it because it gives me a stomach ache every single time I drink it. And it's supposed to be really healthy, but I don't know, something in it my body's not liking, and so I am trying to listen to my body and not drink it. So I think what I'm gonna do with this guide, not to waste it, I'm going to ask a friend if they might want it and see if they'll take it, and just be a nice little gift for them. Because it probably won't give them a stomach ache. Hopefully. So I have 3 big containers of this Bonza pasta because I eat it all the time and I really like it. And one of my friends gave me a couple of the boxes that she bought. So I have a ton right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize this in a way where I'm going to try and pour what's in here into one of these clear glass jars, because I want all of my grains to be in these clear glass jars if possible, all in the same place, just so that I can see what I have and I know it needs to be restocked, and I'm more likely to grab something that's healthy and easy. I just went to open the chickpeas. And one of the bags exploded all over everything right after I swept and right after I wiped off the counter. But it's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Honestly, I'm just gonna put them all on the ground because they're already down there. And I'm just gonna sweep up the floor. I'm hoping this is a 2 birds, 1 stone kind of moment. I could regret this later. So I was looking down here and I saw that I have a bunch of these fire extinguishers, which is very good and important to have in your house, but I probably don't need 3. So I think I'm going to give 1 to one of my friends and see if they would like it, and then just keep 2 of them. And I think I'm going to put them underneath the sink instead of in my pantry, because pantry is for food. Okay, so for this shelf, I tried to set this thing up so I could have like another layer of shelf and use some of this space, but honestly it just didn't work because I had to put these like janky cardboard things underneath so it wouldn't fall. But as you can see, it still fell. So I just don't think it's gonna work. So I'm going to take all this out, and I'm hoping that I can put some of this stuff that's up here on the bookshelf at the bottom of my pantry, so that I don't have to have this shelf, because it just doesn't work with the shelving that I have right now. Look what I found. I found a bookshelf. Hi, Oki. How are you? So I found this bookshelf. One of the shelves fell down, but this guy, I'll fix it later. That goes up here. So I found this at Goodwill right away, basically exactly what I wanted for $24.99. Pretty good. I think it's in like pretty good condition. It's solid and it doesn't look all scratched up, and it matches my cabinets perfectly. So it'll look nice when it's in there if it's showing. So I think that's going to be a perfect fit right there. Let's see. Yes! Beautiful. Okay, so I am going to look through all my grains and anything that can be combined or restocked. I'm going to take my back stock and put it in these open jars. And a good example is this popcorn. There wasn't enough space in this jar, and so I had to put this little extra bag, but now there's enough space in here, so I'm going to restock the jar. And I think I'm going to end up moving all of my grains to the top shelf, since there won't be this bar up there, and I'll be able to see things a little bit better, and I might be able to spread them out a little bit more so that I won't have to have them double stacked. Okay, so now all I need to do is clean up the leftovers. So this was kind of my pile of things that I want to declutter. So I already told you about the smoothie mix. I'm going to give that to a friend, and I'm also going to try and give this to a friend because it's not expired. I just didn't really like this type of rice noodle. So thankfully these were the only two things that were expired. It's a bummer to have to throw them away, but obviously I can't eat expired food, so. And then I'm going to put the broom away from a chickpea disaster. And then these two containers I don't think that I'll need anymore. I might keep them for a little bit just in case. I think I might actually use this for Oakley's toys. Someone in the comments suggested that, and I think that that's a really good idea. So I might use that for her toys in the living room. And then the rest of the stuff is just cleaning stuff, and then I'll put those on Facebook Marketplace and try and sell them. So I think what I might actually do with this guy is I might use him for my jeans. This is my jean closet that I organized in my last video like a month ago, and it's still looking pretty good. I mean, a little bit disheveled. I could probably fold those better. But for the most part, it's still looking pretty organized, which is really nice. It's been really easy to keep organized with that folding style. And so what I think I might do is use this to be able to have 2 stacks of jeans on the bottom floor. Bada bing. Worked pretty good. So that looks much more neat, and I'll still be able to keep the shelf and not have to get rid of it. Oh no. Okie, did you steal my shorts? Get back here with my shorts. You're in trouble. Alright, here is the finished product. Now keep in mind this is before I'm restocking anything, so I'm pretty empty right now. I don't usually have this minimal amount, so keep that in mind, but it is looking pretty good. Definitely good compared to before. I have all my grains on the top so I can see what I have, and I have more grains and nuts and stuff to put on smoothies. And then I have all my canned goods, some ghee, and protein powder, supplements. I put this little basket down here for fresh fruit and vegetables that don't need to be refrigerated. So right now I have some onions in there. Then I have all my sauces. I have some random things like chewing gum, Jello, pesto, stuff like that. And then here I have some snacks. I have some dates, crackers, some stuff to put in smoothies. And here I have some almond milk and some macadamia milk, along with some bone broth, and then just some more chickpea noodles. And I ended up putting the salt down there too, since I have so much space. But yeah, so that is kind of the finished look at everything. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that it inspires you to clean up your space and to make it functional and work for you. And I think that that's the important part to remember, is that it's really about what works for you. So find what works for your brain and work with your brain and not against it. So your pantry doesn't have to look like this. It can look like however you'd like it to, whatever works for your brain and for your lifestyle. And this is just what works for mine. So I hope that it was helpful and gave you some good helpful tips on how to organize and problem solve and do a little decluttering to make cooking and being in the kitchen a little bit easier and more fun. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.